information. Russia's naval force in the Black Seas to get several new diesel-powered submarines. Those are some of the headlines. Now here's some of this in detail. Al Jazeera quotes local hospital sources in the rebel-held city of Benghazi in eastern Libya as speaking about 26 people killed and over 40 wounded.
Okay, folks, this is the old WEAM 1390, now WZHF, and it's radio. What is it? Radio Russia, Radio Moscow, voice of Russia. Interesting stuff. I was listening to them the other day. This is my granddad's old radio, by the way. I featured this in an earlier episode of Sony, that he always kept tuned to 880 for New York. He always lived in the New York area and always listened to CBS AM All News. That was his station. Okay, folks, it's the Saturday edition of Dave TV today. For the 19th of March, 2011. And just doing some weightlifting exercises here with the Broadcasting Yearbook. I don't think they still publish this. I seem to remember this got no longer publishing that. But back in the day, this was where you went if you wanted to find out anything about any radio station. This is the 1998 edition. For example, if you went to the District of Columbia, this is 1998. Let's see, Delaware, D.C. So we have WAMU. They're all listed alphabetically. WAVA, WBIG, owned by Clear. Tells you who they're owned by, the station's powers, their address, their format oldies, da-da-da-da-da. WBZS in Alexandria, CSP, WHUR, WJFK, licensed to Manassas, Virginia, went on the air, 1968, 106.7 megahertz, 22.5 kilowatts horizontal, 18.5 kilowatts vertical antenna, 731 feet, gives you the longitude and latitude of their antenna, any construction permits, their legal address, their telephone number, their fax number, who owns them, and various. Here it says Ken Stevens, General Manager, Jerry Coleman, Operations Manager, Alan Linewan, General Sales Manager, Jeff Sherinsky, National Sales Manager, Tammy Sachs, Program Director, Buzz Burbank, News Director, Mike Elston, Public Affairs Director. Wait. Aren't Buzz Burbank and Mike Elston the same guy? That was back in the grand old days of WJFK, 1998. All right, folks. What do we got here? Yesterday I was talking about, gosh, I can't get this camera going. I was talking about Radio Luxembourg. If you watched the 18th of March issue yesterday, I was talking about Radio Luxembourg, how I used to listen to that on my old British radio when I was over in England. Well, I found out when I got back to the States back in the summer of '74, I found out that you could hear Radio Luxembourg, the British top 40 station, for about an hour every evening between 6-7 in the evening at 60-90 kilohertz, which is in the one of the shortwave bands. And so I could actually listen to their, this was like late in the evening in England, of course. But they actually got relayed on shortwave, and so I filed for a QSL card. These are, you would send away to the radio station, and they would send a reception report to them, and they would send back a little card confirming your reception. And this is the QSL card I sent to Radio Luxembourg. Of course, I will block. I can't. There we go. I'll block that out because I don't live there anymore, and I don't want those people being bothered. But anyhow, confirming your reception report of our 6090 kilocycle station on 000 GMT, which was about 7 p.m. They didn't even fill in the year, did they? That must have been 1974. Thanks for QSL and best wishes, Radio Tele Luxembourg. This is the only QSL card I ever sent away for. I'm not a die-hard shortwave person, but anyhow, that's that. A couple memories today. WBJC 91.5, Baltimore classical station. I almost said a Baltimore classic rock station. This is a good station, by the way. This is their program guide, one of the program guides from 2005. They have a great signal. You can get them all throughout the Washington area. So in this day and age, you know, there aren't any more commercial classical stations. You can listen to WETA on 90.9, which also has a really great signal. It can be heard in Baltimore. And you can also hear 91.5 WBJC. I believe the call letters come from Baltimore Junior College. That was the original name of the school there that they were affiliated with. But anyhow, this is a great station. Not a lot of hype about it. A solid classical station. One of the good things about living in the Washington-Baltimore area is that you got two really good classical radio stations, which is nice. Also, I wanted to bring up a little memory here of Larry Krebs. Remember him? Anybody who's familiar with the glory days of WMAL will remember that Larry was the overnight reporter, and WMAL, which then did its, had a full-time news department. They would come in, he would be in from 1 to 6, and he would do all the overnight news. At least the crime kind of news. There's been a murder in, 8th Street or whatever. Da, 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 da. He worked at the station for a long time. What is it? How many years did he work there? I'm scanning this. Whatever. A long time, believe me. Back in the glory days of the station. Okay, 20 more. This was a 1981 article in the Washington Star, and he's already a veteran of 20 years on the odd hours beat. So he did, I'm sure, many more after that. In addition to his WMIL identification, Krebs also carries a camera that he uses to film freelance stories for WJLA, and his car contains 9 4-channel radios and a 10-channel scanner, an auxiliary generator, a rope ladder, a rubber raft, snow boots, a helmet, flares, a first aid kit, and a complete fireman's running suit. Back in the day, you don't see reporters like this anymore, especially for radio stations. Larry Krebs, one-of-a-kind kind of guy there. And just thought I'd pull that out of the archive for you. Great Larry Krebs. Somebody who deserves a good tip of the old camo cap today. Also, wanted to point out on the old website today, if you go to the mailbag page, we got some cool pictures of a couple radio greats. Here's Bob in Fairfax. Bob in Fairfax used to be a DJ on the old WEER 107.7 and 1250 AM in Warrenton, back when it was a progressive rock station in the 1970s. There's Bob. There's another DJ, Ron, and another DJ, Bernie. You can check out their pictures on the DCR TV mailbag today, the 19th of March. So and there's a little bit of information. And we also got Jim Perks, who worked at WAGE in Leesburg. And he's got some pictures there of him and some of the equipment in the old WAGE studios back when that station was around. It's in hibernation at the moment, coming back as something else, but this was back when it was Loudoun County's hometown voice. And there's Jim there. So check these out. One of the great things about the DCR TV mailbag is that we do get some really cool nostalgic photos and stuff from people, and some great postings. A lot of, granted, there's a lot of crappy stuff in the mailbag too, but there's also a lot of really cool stuff. Okay, that's about it for today. The what is it? Any big news? Let me see if I can minimize the minimize the glare from the back there. Any big news today? Nah, it's kind of a slow news day. I'm just checking out anything going on. Polyoptics, a brand new show on POTUS, that political talk channel on Sirius 110, XM 130. Polyoptics, a new show for Saturdays. So that's it. Oh, Johnny Holiday. Johnny Holiday gets a Skeeter Award. The 32-year voice of the Maryland Terrapins is honored by the Atlantic Coast Conference with a Marvin Skeeter Francis Award for his work with the Atlantic Coast Conference, Sports Media Association, whatever. So that's very cool. Johnny Holiday is one cool cat. So that's that. All right, folks, have a happy Saturday. And don't forget to check out DCRTV.com. At $39 gets you a year subscription to our Plus side, where we've got gazillions and gazillions and gazillions of cool audio memories, video memories, photos, station histories, and all that stuff. So check out DCRTV.com. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned.